Dun, dun, dun. On my end, I can't really hear it, but I'm sure it sounds.
Listen. He sings Unpack Some Shit.
Are you kidding me? I can't hear it that well on my end, but we'll find a way.
That's me on the drums and then Patrick on the guitar.
Then we have to figure out a way to plug that in. We will do it. Listen, if once the apocalypse happens and everybody decides who their teams are, I think you and I are not going to be picked first.
No, hell no. Hell no.
You know, we're good at some things and not at others. So
right. We can't procreate anymore. We're not the breeding part.
Right? So I have so much to say to you. What are your topics? I have so much. I wanted to call you so bad last night because of this Bumble nightmare. And I was like, no, I will wait. I will sit on this.
Okay. You know, you're tipping your hand when you call it a nightmare.
It's my hang up with online dating because I've not had success. It's nothing in particular, but I will tell you once I opened my Bumble, because you said that was one of the topics. Let's do a thing and we'll swipe. And I was I admit I was anxious about it, but I was more anxious about not being open to trying things, right? Because
Amen.
I want to try stuff and I've been very opposed to dating. But on an interesting side note, do you remember a few years ago when you and I exchanged phones and we went on each other's dating apps and we started picking people for each other? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And so it turned out really funny. Did you have any
success? I almost married that black girl.
Did you have any successful?
No, I don't remember anything.
Okay, because the funny thing that you did for me was you kept choosing guys with kids, which is not what I want. And it was very funny. So anyway, I put myself on Bumble last night about, 9:00.
Yes.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, by the way, you're watching, this is Unpack Some Shit with Tom Wise
and Melinda McKinsey. Yes, we're unpacking some shit, and we're talking about something that we talked about Monday, which is let's try swiping and talk about that inner dialogue. And so I had to put an app on my phone because I've had some bad experiences. So I put the app on my phone, and here's the short version is I forgot you have to do all this shit. Like you had to verify yourself, which I appreciated. I didn't know you had to do that. So you put your pictures, then they ask you to verify with like a this. So I thought, okay, well, that's cool. So they know you're not doing fake photos, right?
Right.
I didn't know they did that. So that's super cool.
You know, I've done that. It's interesting. If I'm on like a dating site or on Swipe or something, and I'm really super suspicious for whatever reason, I said, you know what? Send me a picture of you with holding up a finger.
Yes.
And then that'll just eliminate any kind of BS that's going on.
Yes. And I did fill in the thing where only send me verified people, right? But then you have to fill in all this stuff, they just want to know like stuff. So I try to keep it basic, but then when I opened it and saw the men, a lot of the men were saying no Trump supporters. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. So I went back to my profile. I made it very basic and put no Trump supporters just to keep that out.
I had that was a deal breaker today on the Swipe Right 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We were talking about the idea of how uncomfortable it is when you're having a lunch meeting and then it slowly realizes we're on both opposite ends of the fence.
And it's different for me in any other election where it's like, oh, okay. For me, it feels different.
I know it does. It's very emotional.
It's very emotional. And so here's the update on Bumble. Of course, I started looking right away, and then I got nervous about which way is yes and which way is no. So I, went online because I was so afraid I was going to say yes to a bunch of people. And I was like, I have to admit, my first response was like, oh, come on. I was like,
uh-oh.
Okay. But then I would see a couple things, and I was like, eh. So I shut it down, and I thought, I'm going to mute it or whatever you do. So Bumble gives you choices if you want to like opt out, take your picture out, and just stop for a minute, right?
You've been on for less than 12 hours, and this is it. so much energy.
It and it's been years since I've been on an online app, and I felt very vulnerable, honestly, putting my picture out. And I felt vulnerable, but I wanted to do this for you. So the shortest
Okay.
amount of time that you could,
I like it when the ladies say yes to my idea.
24 hours was the shortest amount of time I could shut it down, which means we couldn't have done this today. So I was like, okay, I'm just leaving it open. Bumble just kept sending me like, you've got 78 people. You've got a super hooper duper or whatever. So I haven't looked at it since
Well, that's
last
why
night.
we swipe it, because you've got a super hooper duper. Everybody wants to see it.
I don't know what those are, but I know it's Bumble's way of getting me back on the app. It's not because I'm special. It's Bumble's way.
You
And
know,
so
maybe, I get, I get maybe 1 or 2 matches a day. You're
okay.
going to get 700 guys that swipe right at you, right?
Yes, and I do feel from my past experience, men will just swipe on anything just to see,
It's moving.
I don't feel special if someone swipes on me because I feel like they're just, train the numbers.
That's true too. Although let me just tell you this. If
Yeah.
you've got a regular account on Bumble, you are limited as to how many times you can swipe. Like 7 swipes a day. Something like that.
Oh, shit. Really?
I think I've hit the max once when I was on vacation.
7 swipes in the positive.
Or whatever, yes. Yeah, you can make
Okay.
10 selections, whatever. It's not unlimited. You just can't sit there, swipe, unless you purchased into the account, unless you are subscribed. Tinder does the same thing too. You only get so many swipes, which is fine.
Well, I did pay the $12 to see.
What?
I know, because I'm so interested. I did pay the $12 to see who swiped on me. So it shows me who did swipe on me. So of course I looked at that right away and I was like, no.
Yeah. They offer that all to me all the time. Like, you've got 72 people that swiped on you. I go, I know, but I swiped to the left. Why do I care?
I just was curious what was out there. So I haven't looked at it today. So how do you want to play this game?
All right. So here's the deal. Here's the game. I have no idea. So what we'll do is open up a Bumble or a Tinder. I'm going to say Bumble in your case. And I want you to take a look at the first guy that pops up.
Okay.
And just give me your thoughts. It's like, where you think the relationship is, what's your first turn off, turn on. Maybe there's a line in his profile that you might be able to read. So we'll just do it extemporaneously and see what happens. You do one, then I'll do one.
Okay.
You do your analysis. I want your whole stream of consciousness.
Okay. I am now.
We're not going to show any pictures unless he's really handsome or whatever. And we're not going to show anything negative.
Okay. All right. So the first picture that shows up, he actually, I will say my first response is he looks intelligent to me. I do like his picture.
Okay. His age?
He's 64.
There you go.
So it took me a while to figure out the age range because they were giving me a lot older people, and then they automatically gave me an age range. I was like, oh no, we can tap that down.
16, 17. I can go to a high school.
So women can walk around high schools without any problem. I'm not going to seem weird.
I can do help with homework.
So this guy says he's an architect. He's 6 foot tall.
Wow. I think we've got a love connection.
I mean, he's cute.
There you go.
There's a star on his picture. What does that mean?
That means he starred you, maybe. Maybe he thinks yours.
I don't know. He lives in Manhattan.
Who doesn't?
So if I like him, what do? I swipe right.
You swipe right, and then you'll match with him, and then you've got to initiate a conversation in order for him to be able to talk to you.
He's 64. I wonder if these pictures are current. He doesn't look super young. He definitely looks like, there's a picture of him like in a suit.
A little gray in his beard?
Yes.
A little gray at the temples?
Yes. And he's got like one where it looks like he's like.
Receding hairline?
A what?
Receding hairline?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. But not in a bad way.
No.
He looks like he skis. He's outside by the beach, but he's got a shirt on, which I appreciate. There's one that looks kind of cool where he's got aviator glasses and a little, looks like he could be
I think we do have a love connection.
Okay, let's just read about him. He has a degree. He doesn't smoke, which I really appreciate. I wasn't sure how to handle the smoking thing because I don't mind smoking pot, but smoking means smoking cigarettes, right?
Yes, you got to use the code if you're smoking pot.
Okay.
420.
So There is a star on him, which I would like to find out what that means.
Okay.
So I haven't swiped. Okay, I'm gonna swipe right.
So how's his weight? Height, weight proportionate?
He looks lean, but not super skinny. I mean, he's got, like a little jowl and you know what I mean?
That doesn't make a person a bad person.
He's 64. So
right. You know what? You need to have a few extra pounds on you just in case you get ill. So you can suffer through the flu. You can't lose 18 pounds if you're already.
He's old enough to get Social Security.
Yeah.
I hope he's smart when he waits till he's in his 70s.
I like the widower that has a military pension, who's married to a 4-star general.
Okay, so on the bottom of this page, there's like an X, a star, and a check. What's the difference?
I think
X, a star, and a check.
Okay, I think star is you identify him as a super favorite. An X is goodbye, that's a swipe left, and a check is a swipe right. You can manually swipe to the right.
I don't know that he's a super favorite. I've just begun.
Just give him a regular favorite. Just swipe him to the right.
Okay, I'm gonna swipe. I'm gonna do. Are you ready?
It's your commitment to sex. If you do that.
Oh shit! I'm very nervous about this. I'm doing this.
There you go.
Then it says, probably because I swiped left so much, it says swiping Swiping a profile to the right means you want to connect. Do you want to connect?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, he didn't swipe on me. Nothing came up.
Okay, there you go. So there you go. So it's not, go ahead.
No, tell me one of yours now.
Okay, I'll do one. I'll do one from Bumble. Let's see if Bumble's active.
Okay.
Ba. This is exciting.
My stomach hurts. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't have any on Bumble. I'll go to Tinder.
Okay, go to Tinder.
Yeah, Tinder's always, there's a lot of activity on Tinder.
Is there a distinction in your mind between Bumble and Tinder as far as what?
Way too much nonsense going on Tinder. Way too much nonsense. People selling feet pictures, girls wanting to, whatever.
So it's a money maker. Okay.
Here's Jan, 61. First picture is she's very small in the frame. She's walking her dog on the beach. Her face is in complete shadows, and she's got sunglasses on. Okay? But she looks like she's, height, weight proportionate. 61.
Okay.
All right, so here's the first thing is, if you're afraid of what you look like.
Well, maybe she's doing that because people complain about the body, so she wants to show the body first.
I like that. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the next picture. Next picture is a saying.
Oh, it's not her face?
Yeah, once you have sayings, pictures of your dogs, flowers, and then landscapes, it's all going downhill.
I didn't do any pictures of my pets, but I did put a picture of me holding all the zebra cake boxes.
Surrounded in bed. Next one, okay. Next one, again, a little shadowy. She's looks to be appear on vacation somewhere, and a very tentative smile, but her face is still in shadows. But she looks like she might be attractive. Nice blonde hair.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe because she's so pretty and she always gets acknowledged because she's so pretty, she's trying to make that secondary.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but
yeah.
But I like to see that what someone looks like.
Sure.
She looks like she's got 6 pictures. Oh, nice. She's now we're at full face.
Okay.
In the light.
Okay.
And, she looks a little cranky.
Cranky?
Yeah. Pursed lips. I don't know how you make that selection.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm very afraid of getting involved with somebody who wants to boss me around.
Me too.
Is in a bad mood.
Me too.
That's a fear of mine because that's.
Well, do you think she's trying to appear serious?
It seems. It reminds me of. You remember Mr. Burns in The Simpsons when he was running for political office?
Mr. Burns.
And he's like, "Why are my teeth showing like that?" Smiling, Mr. Burns. Oh, excellent! Like it's a plan. Like he's not
Mr. Burns
smiling. So I don't like a non-smiling picture.
Okay. Okay.
Next one, it's another distant shot. She's walking down the stairs. Again, she's like in a nice, cute figure.
Okay.
Now the blurry picture. Like, oh, this one makes me look 10 years younger.
Oh, it's blurry.
Yeah.
You know, I will say putting my picture up made me nervous, but I made sure I did like my full face so you could see what I look like currently. Cause you know, I did everything all the pictures that were taken the last several months. And then I thought, oh shit, I don't have a body picture.
No.
And that's when I did the zebra cakes because I thought it was funny.
That's when you
You
got
can kind of see what?
That's when you got in your bathing suit and did a one by
Yeah.
the mirror.
But it's a little summer dress and you can see, and then that way it's more fun.
Of course, that's
You
not
know.
exactly. And the last one looks
No.
grumpy. Looks too grumpy.
She looks grumpy because of her facial expression. Tom, is that?
It's like someone's telling her to smile.
Oh, you know, but let's think about this. You and I work in TV, so we understand how important it is. And how many of your friends, when you take pictures, you have to kind of go, listen, guys, not everybody's good in front of a camera. So maybe we should give her a chance because she could be one of those people that's just very uncomfortable in front of a camera.
Or she could be grumpy.
But what if we don't try? And she's one of these really great people that's just not good. If she's attractive, is she smart? Can you tell? What was her saying?
Oh no, she's works in in an industry that would require brains.
Okay. So no because of the smile? I mean, it's your call. You gotta.
Oh, I'm swiping left. There's no swipe right here.
Okay.
Yeah, no scammers in capital letters and never in hookups. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying, but I don't think that she looks like she's a nice person. But yeah. I like just a touch of madness. Like I would like that picture of you and all the cakes around. That'd be fun. My profile says no sex on the first date unless you really gotta have it. So I'll make an exception.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So that weeds out the too serious women. The women, well, he's crazy. He said the word sex and on his profile.
Wait, I want to know what's in your profile because I will say, I'm going to pull up my profile. I struggled with it because I didn't want to get too involved, but also I didn't want to seem stupid. What did you say? And I'll read you mine, and then you can tell me,
And the next one, here's another bad side. The next one, the first picture is the flag. It's going right down.
Trump. Nope. Say no to that. No.
Okay, so you want me to read my profile?
Yes. If you're comfortable reading it.
Are you going to read yours?
Yes, I'll read it.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, this is taking so much time.
No, I think this whole online thing is fascinating because you do try to put your best foot forward, but you don't want to give too much, and we do decide a lot in a few seconds of looking at this stuff.
Here's me, quotation marks. You may be right, I may be crazy, right?
Yeah, I like that song.
6'4", work out of my house as a vendor, on-air guest at HSN, play a little guitar, do a little stand-up comedy as a hobby. Don't worry about my age. If I go first, you get the house.
Hilarious.
No sex on the first date unless you really got to have it.
Okay.
My last two girlfriends independently called me adorable this day that we broke up. A little crazy, okay, relaxed, fun, supportive. Leo. That's it.
You're a Leo?
Yes, ma'am. Double Leo, rising and sun sign.
My last bad relationship was with a Leo. He was so bossy.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay,
I'll tell you what to do.
On this one, they do ask a lot of questions, on which I guess it shows up on the bottom, like they said, my favorite quality in a person, blah, blah, blah. So here's what I wrote independently. I don't know if this is dumb or not. I love living in Brooklyn. I put only 10 miles because a lot of people can be in a 10-mile radius here in New York. Wow. So I put 10 miles. If you live farther than that, sorry. Right. I love living in Brooklyn and appreciate city life and all it has to offer because I wanted people to know I'm not a country girl, not my thing. It's fun to travel and try new places and new food. I like to eat. I want to be clear about that.
Pretty generic so far.
Being honorable is important to me and to be open to life's twists and turns. No Trump supporters.
Wow. Do you like to laugh too? And do you enjoy the beach?
I didn't put that because I figured, come on, live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love.
I like it. You need to, you have to give me a little bit more. You got to put a little piece of meat on that bone. Is that your whole profile?
That was my whole thing. And then they have stuff like, I'm known for, and I put taking chances.
All right.
I'm a real nerd about books. I put I love
I
all.
like that. I like that a lot.
I love all genres of books. My favorite quality in a person is, and I put to be able to own
Fat wallet.
What?
It's not fat wallet.
Oh, I should have said a fat wallet.
Yeah.
Instead, I put to be able to own who you are, flaws and all.
There you go. I like the books thing. I need one more personal thing about you. You've got to explain yourself in some other fashion.
Okay, what should I say?
You should say I do a podcast, or I like walking with my dog in the park, or something a little bit more less generic than I enjoy, fancy food and whatever you said in the beginning.
Okay.
What about your trick that I suggested for ladies?
My trick?
Yeah, ask a question that they've got to answer to prove that they've read your whole profile.
Okay, how about this? I've worked in stand-up.
There you go.
In stand-up, I'll put comedy for the idiots. Would you consider
Me using your life as
giving that a try for fun?
all right?
How about that?
Or how about taking an improv class?
Okay, how's that though?
I love it. I love it.
Save and done.
Right.
All right. So the next guy.
Then you should also say, tell me what your favorite color is, just to prove that he's read the profile.
Really?
Yes. Otherwise, he's just swiping right.
I guess that's a good point. My next guy is in a gym, and he's got a bunch of gym stuff behind him. He's definitely a guy that works out. He does not have his shirt off, which I appreciate. I do not need that. It says that he is a porter at Restoration Hardware. I don't know what that is.
Well, porter is, I would imagine, somebody who gets stuff from the back.
Okay. And there's a star on that. That must mean, if they have a star, maybe it means, oh, you know what? I bet it means they're verified.
Yeah, it could be verified. All right, sure.
He's 48, but he looks very serious, and he's not physically my type.
Right. So how does this relationship? How does it end if you go out on 2 dates with him? How does it end?
Oh, with this guy? Well, he is not smiling in any picture.
There you go.
I mean, I'm gonna just say by all the photos he's showing, it's a lot of these holding it in front of a mirror, kind of those.
Do you like your men smiling or posing like,
He smokes socially, and I hate to be that girl, but I'm not into that.
That means, you know what? That means he smokes a lot.
Yeah, so I'm just saying no,
okay,
and putting that down. So, what's your next gal?
Well, we're gonna just eliminate the flag.
Eliminate. I wouldn't even look at the flag.
Yeah, and the flag is the only one she's got. Is the only picture she has is the flag.
She definitely works for the Republican Party.
All right. Next one is Denny, 64.
Okay.
Loves to travel, enjoys films. Can I say this something? I just had this thought the other day.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of a woman, and she's, a little bit older, but she had the camera over her head, right? And she's showing a little bit of cleavage, right? Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, these are horrible thoughts I have, okay?
Okay.
This is just between you and me.
Yes.
Here's a woman that probably her whole life was like, hey, my eyes are up here. Now she's 60 something. It's like, well, if you want to take a look, go right ahead.
I hope that's not the case. I will say, as a woman, you're always aware of your breasts. And if you've spent any amount of time around men at all, we all know you want to look at them. So it's not necessary to show them to get men to look at them. They'll look at them. So I've never found the need to be all like, booby, because I know, I get it. Like, you want to see it. So I'm not showing it to you right now because I don't know you.
Unless you get desperate, then the camera goes up here.
And then it's like, boop, 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 boop. Well, what does she have that you like, this woman?
This woman, no, she looks a little bit, let's have a look. So there's just the face picture. She looks a little bit heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that with the heavy thing, because you do take care of yourself and you are physically active. So it makes sense that you would care about that because you are active.
Yeah, that's important to me because I want to be active. I don't want to just
Yes.
somebody around in a chair, especially at this 60 some age. We're
Yes.
at, this is where things are breaking down.
Yes.
People are in chairs. People don't go out hiking. I mean, I was supposed to go hike
I
uh, Bald Mountain next weekend, this weekend, but it's all
Yeah.
because of COVID. But I mean, I do that on a yearly basis. I go up to Sun Valley and I go hiking. So
Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't look like she's much for hiking, and not any body pictures and
Okay.
of the pained smile. I find that it's so many women over a certain age. It's like the happiness is gone. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
Just
here's my theory on why some women won't smile in pictures. Number one, what we talked about previously, I think some women are, a lot of people are uncomfortable in front of a camera. The other thing is when you smile, more of your wrinkles show up. I mean, that's a real life thing. And maybe they're trying to look,
yeah. I get it. It's it feels so judgmental. But I'm just saying. But you're looking for a partner. You want somebody to
yeah, no, you got to go for what you got to go for. So she was a no.
use a no.
All right. So my next dude is Michael. He's 60. He's self-employed. Um, let's see what it says about him. I'm worried that he's short, but he's not. He's 6 foot tall. There was something about his photo that made me feel like he was short, which
It's the same thing. I go, my gosh, she looks like she's 5'1". No, she's 5'8". I don't know.
and I know that here's the sidebar on this. I do have a preference for taller guys, and shorter guys get very angry about that. So I lowered my bar and I dated someone that was 5'8". And you know what? I didn't enjoy it. It didn't work for me. And I'm sorry that that's what I like, but that's what I like. Guys that are 5'8" are still 4 inches taller than me, but I'm not attracted.
Wow.
And this guy was heavy too. It's the first time I dated someone that was heavy. And the interesting thing about dating someone that's heavy is he never really did try to get in shape, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine, but I had decided that he probably would want to get in shape. Why? Why did I think that? So, okay, so this guy says he's looking for a partner.
Yeah. The cop.
He says he's curious, he's fit, he's sensuous, and he's a good cook. Let's see, there's a picture of him with a bow tie, which I think is adorable, and little glasses. There's a picture of him at the beach, and he does have his shirt off, but it's like you can see just below the nips. So you can see enough, Now there is a close-up picture at the very end that I'm not liking. He looks very different in this close-up picture. He's only 8 miles away from me. Interesting. Isn't it interesting how pictures can make you look so different?
Amen.
Oh,
So let me ask you a question. How's his personality, and how does this end up? Why do you guys break up?
We're probably gonna break up because I'm trying to see what it says about him.
We're doing a whole show on this one topic.
Sorry. Here's the thing. He says he's a moderate in boating.
A moderate?
Is that safe enough? He says he would go
Boating.
on.
I think he said boating.
Oh no. Boating? He's a moderate boater.
I stay close to the shore. I'm not going to go way out there where it's really wet.
On Bumble, they asked, how would you like to date? Would you like to date virtually, socially distanced with a mask, or no mask? They asked you all those. So I just put virtually because I was just terrified. This guy says he would socially distance with a mask, which I still appreciate that. I do. He's a Scorpio.
Right. No, that's no good.
He has kids and doesn't want more, and he does vote. That was a question. I thought that was great. They asked you if you vote.
Yeah.
This guy does seem interesting, but here's the thing. The way he's posted his pictures, his first picture is he's out there's mountains and a valley, and it is a little bit dark, I will say, in the picture of him. It's a little shadowy. Then the cute bow tie one, it's still a little shadowy, but he has round glasses. He looks super cute. then he's at the beach and he has sunglasses on. So you can't. Then the last picture that's close up, he looks more harsh than I would prefer. And I know that's not fair. He's got a zipped up jacket. His hair is all pulled back. He appears to have a hat on. And to be honest with you, he just seems a little stern in that one, which is unfair because the others seem cute and fun. And this one's more like.
I think that as you get older, you don't want to be with stern or serious or drama, right?
I said no to that.
Yeah.
I said no.
All right, let me lower my age range and we'll try again, okay?
Okay. What's a good age range?
One was 64, the other was 65. Let's go a little bit lower.
Okay.
Sorry, I hate doing this while we're live.
Well, no, I think this is fascinating. I love to know what people are thinking because you never know what. I'm sure I pass up a lot of really good people because I'm just paranoid about the whole thing. Pretty sure when we're done with this segment, I'm going to get rid of Bumble.
Yeah. This is no good. 53.
Okay.
He looks drunk.
How do you mean? Tell me how she looks.
Her eyes are narrow. She's leaning back in a chair. A lot of chair up here, just barely her head. Ugh. I mean, why would you post that picture? That's not appealing. That's not even a good picture. You're choosing these pictures. No one's got a gun to your head. We'll put this up.
You're right. You're right.
And the next one is a close-up, and she looks angry. She looks almost like a bear.
What does it say about her? Or you wouldn't even go to that because the pictures were not interesting.
No, since she's got nothing in the profile.
Can you do that? Can you just have nothing in your profile?
Either you can.
I mean, I like that Bumble asks so many questions like, do you vote? You know, what is your boundary for political parties? Will you wear a mask? How do you want to date during COVID? It's very smart.
Yeah, no, that's smart. Well, here.
Did you find a good one?
Yeah, well, here's one, but she's 2,500 miles away. I don't know why. I think Tinder put me on some sort of list of I can go anywhere I want in the world. I don't know, whatever.
I did that with Match and with Tinder when I was using them, and I kind of found it interesting. As a matter of fact, I made friends with a guy that lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I've stayed with him at his house because we became friends on Tinder or Match. I think we became friends on Match.
How did you pay for the rent?
My friendship. He is a great guy. Like we had that talk about sex and everything. He was like, look, I'm not interested in casual sex, but we thought each other was interesting. He let me stay in his bedroom. He stayed downstairs.
And then when you woke up, what the Billy, what are you doing in here?
He was so sweet and we've remained friends. I really enjoy him and he's very active. He's, like in his early 60s. He rock climbs and does all kinds of fascinating things. And it was from me having unlimited on, because you could still meet people across the country.
Of course. And I've had some great friends of women I've met on Bumble and Tinder, mostly Bumble. But we're good friends. I mean, 5 years later. Yeah, absolutely. So it's not all about romance. It's all about meeting people.
I have to agree with that.
So, okay, so we did our first one. I did swipe. The next one was money. The next one, the next one was political. You want to do one more, dear, or you want to call it great?
No, let's do one more. I find it fascinating. I hope that I will just get rid of this. Okay, this is Matt. He's 57. From his first picture, he seems very uptight. He has a suit on, and you know how some people look uptight? He just looks uptight. And then underneath his picture, he put the nicest guy imaginable.
Really? And then there's a picture of me?
And it's you.
There you go.
This guy is 6'3". He sometimes works out. He's a Sagittarius. He has an undergraduate degree. He never smokes. He's looking for a relationship. He has kids and he doesn't want any, and he's a moderate. The next picture he has on one of those little funny little hats. I like hats, and I like guys that wear hats. I think that's amusing and adorable to me. To me, that shows me I think you're gonna have a little bit of fun. If you're willing to wear a hat, I think hats.
Like a party hat?
Like a Scottish kind of a, there you go. Put your hat on, buddy. Don't you think hats are fun? I think hats are fun.
I enjoy a hat. You know what? I wish I did this more often. I love collecting the hats when you do traveling. I like getting.
Yes.
I like getting T-shirts.
Yes.
Hey,
The
that
last,
Glacier National Park. That was an amazing trip.
I have all kinds of hats on, like cowboy hats, and so especially in New York, everybody wears hats, so it's fascinating. The last hat I bought was in San Antonio that said "Not today, Satan," which I thought was hilarious, and I've worn it. And I think it's funny. Okay, so then it's showing him with his son, who's very good looking,
Yes.
and his son looks like he's graduating college. So I like that. He's saying, "Look, I'm proud of my son." I like that. He's 10 miles away, and that's all it really says.
Hmm. And how old?
57.
That could be a nice swipe, right?
Should I swipe right?
So let me ask you a question. How does this relationship end? What
He
goes,
says he's the nicest guy imaginable. So he's got it.
does he look cute? Does he not affectionate? Does he look like is there an anger issue in there somewhere?
He just looked very conservative in this first picture, which makes me uncomfortable. I don't like super conservative guys.
You like something a little dangerous?
This is my problem, though. I'm swiping right. I always pick the dangerous guys. I always pick, remember, charming bullies. Charming bullies are my thing. So I'm going to swipe right. And, okay, ready?
Not going to explode.
I'm swiping right. I got nothing back, so he didn't choose me.
He may not be on yet.
I said yes to 2 people already.
Okay, yeah, you're a dirty girl.
I gotta put this down. I think you're right, though, Tom. I have to choose differently. I've always chosen those a little bit of a scary out there because I like fun.
Yeah, right. See, here's the problem. Women like those guys, and those guys they like a lot of variety. So
Yes.
they're fun, but I think if you go a notch down from crazy to fun, you're swimming in a better water. It's like I can't take somebody. I mean, if I look at somebody and she looks like my grandmother, she's ready to sit down and start knitting. I go, that's just boring.
Right.
Right.
Right. I mean, have you gone for I remember one chick you brought to one of your parties.
Huh?
I remember that one chick you dated that you brought to one of your parties. She was very dangerous. Very. Do you remember her? She was drinking the shots and all the crazy when we had the What a Show party. You not remember that one? I forget her name. I'm not going to say it if I remember it.
Yeah, say it.
She was like a therapist or something. Remember? Oh, you don't even remember her?
You know what? That's why I take a lot of pictures because I can't remember shit.
Listen, she made a big impact. Everybody at the party was like, who is this crazy chick that Tom has? She was nuts.
I like that a lot.
But she was super crazy. And I forget why you broke up with her, but she was like really out there. Like she was, she's one of those people that you bring to a party and you think, oh, she's fun. And then you're like, my God, call the cops. Like she was doing some inappropriate things. You don't remember her? That kills me.
I don't.
Okay, well, we'll talk about her later. So do you feel like you have a tendency to pick more dangerous because you like the fun?
I like the fun, but see, then sometimes those girls or the women are like, oh, they're on drugs, or
Yeah,
think a lot. That can't be right.
yeah. I think it's hard to pick because I think what I want and what I pick are 2 different things, right? Like I want someone that's going to be monogamous. So why don't I pick the trouble child over here who clearly likes to be the center of attention at all times?
Yeah. Yep. Well, you think about that. My sister, was married to a man that cheated on her. Then she on the other end of the spectrum and married a man that was super conservative.
Yes.
But not, in his lifestyle, not politically conservative, but just a very conservative man, which was worked out for her perfectly. She didn't have to think about that issue anymore.
Right. I was married to a very conservative, very domineering man. And I think that's why I date party guys all the time because I'm thinking they'll be totally opposite of how controlling he was.
I was listening to Colin Coward. He's a sports guy. And he talks about that dynamic about you swinging from one to the other.
Yeah.
We go from disco to grunge. We go from a coach that is a player's coach to a coach that's a disciplinarian. Okay, we tried the player's coach, or everybody's your buddy. Now we're going to go to the sergeant who's going to just kick everybody's ass. So they swing back and forth, but they're looking for, the formula. So you're going to go from one end to the other end, in a lot of different,
Yeah, it makes sense to me because in my marriage, he was always like kind of embarrassed when I would get attention because I was doing theater and plays and shows. And I remember I was in a group of people and someone started talking about one of the shows I was doing, and he tapped it down and he told me later, he goes, I don't want people going to see you and do, and I was like, he just didn't like me having any attention at all.
That's sad. It should be.
It is sad.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you want somebody who you can support, does interesting things that you can support. Maybe you participate in a thing or two, and then they support you, and maybe they participate in a thing or two. But if they're not interested in that thing or two, then at least they support it. I mean, it's not a difficult formula, is it?
I don't think that it is. I mean, unfortunately, I married young and I didn't think those things through, and I was pregnant. And so I didn't go, you don't meet all my criteria. I was like, I thought I loved him. And to me, that was enough, right?
We all know those, you know, men and women who disappear into their marriage because the other person doesn't want you to have a social life. Oh no, you know, start shutting the woman down from going out with the girls, or certainly not some guy friends. Their world starts to shrink. I mean, that's obvious, and you don't want any part of that. You're just saying, hey, I'm doing this, come join me, and then you're doing this, I'd like to join you do that too.
Yes. Well, it's unfortunate when you marry young because you don't think about, you know, those kinds of things. And I didn't realize you also marry the family.
Yes.
If I would have known that, I wouldn't have married him. His family's horrible.
Yeah.
But I thought I was in love. But yeah, so I need to pay more attention to what I really want versus what I'm choosing, because I think I haven't merged those two together yet.
Well, it was awesome to think about marrying the family. It was a very interesting thing about what I married Tina. Her dad was alive. I mean, and it was very odd for me and somewhat shockingly comforting to be able to call another man dad. When I was 35 years old and he was 70 something. It's like, my gosh, because my dad died when I was 21. And it was kind of a crazy experience, you know?
No.
Yeah.
His parents, his dad was okay with me. His mom couldn't stand me from day one. She never could stand me. And after we got divorced, after 20 years of marriage, she said, I always knew she was bad news. You know, like,
God,
she just didn't like anything about me. And you know what?
That I told you so chambered.
I was young and dumb. And, you know, I look back now and I'm like, wow, I was so foolish. But anyway, whatever. I need to narrow down what I want versus what I'm choosing and be smarter about it. Because I find myself when I see someone super conservative, I'm like, no, I don't want that.
It depends what that means. I mean, I've gone out with women. I usually tell a mildly dirty joke at one point. Mildly, I mean, like a joke my grandmother would tell me. I'm not trying to get in. And if they're like offended by that, I go, I know where I'm going here. I remember being on a blind date with a gal. We're doing a brunch somewhere, and I tell a very mild, funny joke. And if you're offended, we're not going to be friends. We're not. This isn't.
Yeah. Well, what is your idea of a good first date so you can really decide, like, what's a location? What's a time frame that you think, oh, this would give me enough to know I want to go forward?
I like having drinks or appetizers or maybe even dinner, but sometimes dinner is too much of a commitment.
I think dinner's too much.
I like having drinks somewhere. Let's meet for a drink. I mean, and see what happens there. I mean, then if we want to decide to stay longer, we can and get something to eat. We can do that. But I like let's just meet for drinks. You know, block out a half an hour and see if
But I like that too. I know a lot of friends that go out for coffee during the day or whatever. I guess I've done the coffee during the day. I don't know. I think if you can you can meet at a location, I definitely say drinks or cocktails so we can both relax. We have something to do with our hands. Right. And you're in an open environment where there's plenty of other people, but it's not too loud so you can talk. Because
go ahead.
What do you ask on a first date? What do you talk about, Tom? What do you say to them?
It's usually pretty, work, relationships, kids, travel, stuff like that.
So do you take the stuff you read from their profile and utilize that, or?
It might be an interesting opening question. Oh, how did you get into architecture? Then we're talking about, Brown University and used to live out Upper New York. And, I traveled there. I did zip line. And so you just, go go where the conversation leads.
Okay.
I'm going to have a couple of things I'm kind of looking for without really asking about it. Like, do you have a 6-year-old son? I want to know about that stuff. What was I thinking about? Oh, I had an odd interaction the other day on a back and forth texting.
Yes.
I said, hey, do you want to just go out you want to, meet for coffee somewhere? Or maybe, somewhere for brunch or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't drink coffee. I'm ADHD. Caffeine's a horrible idea. Blah, 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 blah. Like, calm down. I don't need your medical records. Coffee is a generic term for let's just go out and, have a drink of water or just meet for a bag of chips. Don't get triggered because I said coffee.
I'm very put off by people that will talk about their ailments.
Right.
I'm very put off. I have zero tolerance for that.
But then she circled back, and then she was kind of positive. I said, hey, all right, well, how about, are you interested in meeting for lunch maybe on Tuesday? Okay. Are you kidding me? I only get 30 minutes for lunch. What happened to getting together and having some time where we could, have a good conversation? I said, these are just generic terms. I'm not carving anything in stone.
This is what terrifies me about dating. You have to dig through so much of the bullshit.
I mean, really, and then here's one of my pet peeves. If I offer a meeting up place, a time, whatever, and you say no, and then you give a reason why not, then it would be nice if you offered an alternative.
Yes.
If you're interested. If you're not interested, I'll take that as a, don't bother me anymore. So
right.
If you're waiting for me to ask you again, it's going to be a long time.
Did you ever have a really good first date and then it just went nowhere from there? Or you're probably more proactive. If you have a good first date, you probably do follow up very well.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a good first date and not having usually I'm one and done. I don't think I've ever dated anybody twice and then it's fallen apart.
What's the rule? It's been a while since I've done this dating thing of waiting or asking for a second date, or what's the rule on that these days? Are men more progressive and will tell you right away, let's make plans, or do they make you, or is the waiting game still a thing?
I think all rules are off. I think that you just go with your gut. I mean, if I was a woman and had a good time, you could say, hey, let's do this again. That would be nice. And if the guy's not into it, he'll probably not say anything, or, I don't think it was a match. Or if he comes back and says, hey, that was fun, let's do it again, she may not say anything.
Yeah.
You need to protect your heart, I think, for the first
yeah.
So you're hoping, you're looking for some compatibility and some fun factor, but you never know what's going on in somebody's life, whether they're cheating on their wife or they just killed somebody or where they're at. So I go softly and just look for that little bit of that.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like if I go out with somebody and I say, hey, it was great, and they don't respond, I appreciate that, because why waste anybody's time? If it doesn't work for you, let's not drag this out.
Oh my Lord, the whole thing's been about dating.
You know what? Dating is fascinating. I was doing some extra background work and I noticed, this was a few years ago, I noticed this very attractive man. And I was like, I told one of the girls, I was like, oh man, this guy's so hot. And she said, he came up, we were doing extra work and he started chatting with me. Well, a lot of people talk to me. I didn't think it was flirting. We're talking. And she said, oh, he's really into you. And I said, no, we're just talking. She went up to this guy and said, hey, she's into you. Are you into her? And he's like, yeah. So she said, come back over here, Melinda. She made us exchange numbers.
Look at that. Good girl.
We exchanged numbers and she's like, I want to come to the wedding. It was very funny. Yeah. So he sent me a text right away. Nice meeting. I sent him a text right away. And then I didn't hear from him for a couple weeks. So I sent a text because I was traveling and he was from Milwaukee and I was in Milwaukee. And I said, hey, we met. I'm in Milwaukee. Made me think of you. How you doing? Oh, he answered within an hour, which to me, I was like, maybe, but we all know what happens. We kind of texted back and forth and he said, hey, let me know when you're back in town. So I was excited because he was very attractive and I really liked him. He was much younger than me too. And I sent him a text and I was like, hey, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And then he wrote back, yeah, let me know. And he kind of threw it back on me. And then it just stopped because I was like, I felt weird about it.
At some point, if somebody wants something, they've got to ask for it. So you've reached out a couple of times and
Yeah.
says, hey, I'm really interested. I was in a meeting. I'm sorry I waited an hour to get back to you. I couldn't, be great to see you again. So someone's got to get, if it just, and especially a man, as a lady, you just don't want to lay there
Yes.
and offer. You got to be a little bit elusive and make him change.
Yes. It was too soft. He was hitting back too soft. And it didn't feel like the interest was there. And I wasn't about to beg this guy,
In the bullpen. I'll keep her on the side in just case I swing back.
So, yeah.
All right. I think we've done the Lord's work here today.
So what did we learn from this, Tom? What is the lesson today on this online dating? What do you think? What's our wrap up on this?
It'd be interesting to see if your initial feelings about a person were correct. I may have swiped left on the wrong person. So you never know, but you've got to do some sort of evaluation.
Well, I'll keep this for a little bit and let you know if the two people I swiped on ever respond to me. And then we'll take it from there. We'll use this as a little social experiment. I don't know that I'll be on it too much. It gives me great anxiety.
I can see that. You're all stressed. By the way, you've got 24 hours to say something to them.
Oh, shit.
You've got to initiate the contact with those two men if they contact you. So if they swipe right on you, you've got to initiate the contact.
I forgot that about Bumble.
So right now, as it stands, they're nowhere until they swipe right on you, and then you initiate the contact.
Okay, so if they swipe back on me, then I have 24 hours?
Yes.
I might be calling you. I don't expect them to. I'm older. I don't know that that's going to happen. But if anything happens, I'll probably have to call you because I won't know what to do.
I will talk you through. Oh, you never said anything about my gladiolas.
Let's talk about your gladiolas real quick. Look at those gladiolas. Those are fall-looking gladiolas.
Nice.
Nice.
$5 for 2 bunches at Publix.
Yeah, they are.
So that's only half of them.
Look at you. Look at you. I love buying flowers.
And that's one of my topics we never got to.
Okay, well we'll do that on Friday. What were your other topics, just so we know what we're looking forward to on Friday? Tell me what you got.
Well, we did swipe. He owes me money.
Yes.
Vaccine dilemma.
Oh.
And Trump versus the NFL.
Oh, shit, those are good. I didn't have a lot. I had the psychology of belief because I wanted to talk about my intermittent fasting. And I wanted to talk about the TV show, The Social Dilemma. And then I wanted to talk about Bumble.
Done, done, and done. All right. Until next time, my name's Tom Wise.
I'm Melinda McKinsey.
And you've been unpacking some shit with Wise and McKinsey. That's another one in the can. We'll see you Friday, right?
Friday.
All right. Thanks, everybody.